Hi, my friends and family. Today I got a touchy subject to discuss with you. And that is what happens when you are not a good little boy or girl when you make content online or try to share your music with the world. These dreams, they open up my eyes. Oh, my eyes. Every moment you're alive is a chance to awaken in the Christ. These dreams will open my eyes. Lucifer in the Football. Why is the screen turning dark? Was it something I said? Was it something I did? How the living dead try to steal your self-confidence through gaslighting. I mean, this is the second time I've had to make this today. Man, they did a great job. Sometimes they do a great job. Knowing Inky or Lucifer is literally a master of mind control and con artistry, yet this covert narcissist has no self-confidence of his own. The covert narcissist has to steal your self-confidence through gaslighting, through putting you in your place, by putting you down. I'm the grandson of a 33-degree Freemason. Okay? I was determined to live my dream. I got the Robert Johnson box set when I was 13 years old, and the legend was that he wasn't any good at guitar, so he sold his soul to the devil and became a brilliant guitar player. Then just on the other end of my 13th year, I also got all of Led Zeppelin's records. I remember when I first heard Stairway to Heaven. It was one of the first times I thought something was really mystical. Jimmy Page recorded Led Zeppelin 4 in Aleister Crowley's house he bought on the edge of the Loch Ness where the sun never shines. My friend Jason told me he was going to be the youngest master Freemason in South Carolina when he was young, and he challenged me to go to California to play music. 2 days later, I started driving out there. Fortunately, this was 2004, and several months later, YouTube was invented. And of course, I didn't start uploading content there until a couple of years ago. But YouTube was born February 14th, 2005. But unfortunately, in less than 20 months later, on October 9th, 2006, it was purchased by Google, and all the CIA and corporate beings moved in on there. This morning, before I deleted my shit-talking comment on my own video that was also praising the censors, because I have strong evidence of a strong possibility someone likes me in there, and they took the shadow ban off temporarily, possibly, maybe for one video here and there. But I noticed that I had I had 200 views on my video about how life is a balance, and then it said 198. So I researched this on YouTube, and it turns out, of course, they have a policy, especially if it's somebody like me that they don't necessarily like. They will delete the views where people watch less than 5 seconds. Okay, if they don't love you, okay. But then I learned this has happened to, far worse, to other people they liked perhaps less than me, maybe who are not spoiled and from an entitled white Freemason family. Some had hundreds or thousands of views on their YouTube channel. The views were deleted. And some of these people had their content had nothing to do with politics or spirituality. Google, CIA, YouTube is a big money corporate entity, and it can do what it wants. Okay? As a result. Like drugs or pharmaceuticals and alcohol in the 27 for the 27 Club, truth or gatekeepers such as Tucker, Russell, and of course all of the popular martyrs from Gandhi to Bob Marley were all killed or character assassinated or taken off the mainstream media, just like as if Lucifer were playing football in the Charles Schultz comic, is where the title of this comes from, obviously. So if you're not familiar, in the Charlie Brown comics, Lucy would pull the football out as Charlie was about to kick. So as a result, you use these beings or YouTube as middlemen or webmasters for your own video content creators. You are at the mercy of a talented, sold out, possibly vicious, and sometimes delightful, wonderful AI beast platform that was started almost 20 years ago on Valentine's Day. So show love. Okay, some of you video makers out there just obviously didn't grasp the power, or as I put several videos back, sinfluence, as I called it, the Decepticons have. They tried to use coercion to victimize me because I had a blood disease for 10 years when I was in my 20s. YouTube tried to gaslight me by hiding in censorship or pretend like, I didn't deserve my audience because of what I said. I was naive. My first video about heroes, I said no Nazi officer's son is going to take over the world. I didn't realize that might saying that might make it so that was the only video that ever got thousands of views from me. Human mainstream media, the communication systems and transportations have all been, weaponized and consolidated by corporate government monopolies, all the way from Greyhounds to most of the airlines. And most of your gasoline companies are coming from these big, massive, big boys companies, okay? So if you play with YouTube or even Rumble, you're going to have to do what they say to some degree. So I've had to deal with heavy scapegoating, gaslighting, and subtle abuse, infantilization, projection, splitting, and a lot of covert narcissistic personality disorder abuse and madness coming from both sides of my family. I was conscripted since birth to be a narcissist if I believed and obeyed this in the media because of my high IQ and talents. Little kids were copying me in art when I was 5 years old. I was put into gifted classes in elementary school, helped and steered by the compulsory or forced schooling to be a certain way. They wanted to find out if I was any good at math, for one thing, and steer it toward that rather than philosophy. They don't want anyone to get into philosophy. The movie A Beautiful Mind really shows you what they want the mainstream to think about somebody with a high IQ or so-called brilliant or deep thinker person. The covert narcissist secretly has no self-esteem. That's why they're actually a black hole. And that's why they have to try to steal it from you by cutting you down, by gaslighting you, by belittling you or cutting you down to size. Threatened with an ultimatum by the Anderson, South Carolina Public Department of Mental Health over 25 years ago, I talked them out of their false control trip because I knew they were lying to me, trying to drug me. Now that I know how bad the deleting channels, shadow banning, and erasing views even is, I have to wonder if that person is right who made a recent YouTube video saying that YouTube has about 5 years, but in 5 years YouTube won't exist, is the name of the video. I have to wonder if that's correct because of how corrupt it is. However, I love YouTube, and as I have noticed experientially, the Illuminati or Dark Ones, usually, as I've said, they place themselves in nearly every click YouTube is just one of the worst, most infested and best, on the other hand, with regard to psychology and music, which are two of my favorite things to learn about and study, so I love it for that. Just like the covert narcissist has no energy supply or loosh until he cuts you down, the internet also, as I've said before previously, Nikola Tesla presented Wi-Fi to the world in the year 1893. Why did it take roughly 111 years for us to get cell phones and laptops? Because they had to dial it in to cancerous frequencies and make it as dopamine infesting, addicting as possible, and figure out how to control the information as best as they could to minimize views of guys like me. And they did a pretty good job at that, right? So it was basically the whole internet was tuned in to be a little, loose drip system so that it's going to suck your energy, pull you into lower frequency things if possible. The covert narcissist in your blood family operates in just the same as Hollywood and the mainstream media and popular platforms might be to the loving, honest bringer of light and awareness, not the fake light bearer, but someone who obeys the real light of Christ. They might get rewarded, loved, put in the spotlight, built up, and paid lots of money just to have the wind knocked out of them and lose it all. Like Lucifer and the Football, as I call it. What is the price of engagement? Okay, these people had to literally sign a contract with the Rainmaker, and thus, as far as musicians that do that go, we have the 27 Club. As far as YouTube gatekeepers, the covert narcissists, Luciferians, try to control everyone. They want to control every single person, except they can't control themselves because they have no self-discipline or self-control. Completely abusive to everyone else, but as far as controlling themselves, that's not going to be a possibility. Okay. So for the YouTubers and other people on Rumble that are really super popular, they're usually going to be shills or invisible controllers, making some content will have to be made invisible, and these people that are uber popular have to stick to certain points only. On the other hand, Mark Passio, who has thousands of subscribers, who teaches us how these operations work from within his previous position, he can say whatever he wants on YouTube and have 4,000 people watch it and thousands watch in 2024. But YouTube took away all his comments and all his chats. He can't have anyone make any points besides himself. This is how they make the rules. YouTube makes the rules differently for each person, and they have the right to do that because it's their world, their one-dimensional world, their digital realm. I could say whatever I want on YouTube to less than 200 people, but more than that is not kosher. They're just going to delete some of those views. So, on the other hand, try speaking negatively about Trump on Rumble, and my experience is that, especially if I come even remotely near what's called doxing, which is against Rumble policy, if I say anything that incriminates Trump or makes him look, less than brilliant, they will just delete those comments. On big platforms, you're playing football with Lucifer, possibly, and he might just try to take, he might just take the ball away from you when you're about to kick. If you enjoyed this video, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell for more. Follow me on Odyssey if you'd like to go deeper into the gnarly world of mind control. And remember, it is your responsibility to wake up yourself. No one else is going to do it for you. And if you think, like I might have at some point naively, that you can help the world to the best of your capacity simply by uploading videos to YouTube, well, think again, unless you're a master of playing their game. And if you have the courage at all, my family, create a great day. Loving you.